And I've been railing about Baha Mar lately because it, to me, is the clearest cut example of what we see when a government wheels and deals for itself at the expense of Bahamians, at the expense of over 2,000 Bahamians. Go grab today's Nassau Guardian. Go grab today's Tribune. Front page of Nassau Guardian, 1 year later, human collateral of Baha Mar bankruptcy remains. So while all your political heroes, while Perry Christie and Bradley Roberts and everyone else does a song and a dance and make noise in Parliament and call you stupid and you a fool because you don't know any better, while they think that you're a dummy because you keep voting for them, and I find it harder and harder to disagree, go look at the front page of the paper. 1 year later, Baha Mar is still standing out there, empty, rotting, failing. And you know where all the people are who would work there, whose jobs and livelihoods depended on it? They're still out here struggling. Can't make ends meet. There's a great story by Jamie Pinder in there in today's Nassau Guardian. Let me read a little bit for you one more time. Today makes 1 year since Baha Mar, the $3.5 billion mega resort that was supposed to be the jewel in the crown of the Christie administration's current term, filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in a Delaware court. And many of the 2,000 plus workers who were sent home when the property shuttered are still picking up the pieces. The grand opening was set for March of 2015. That deadline was missed. Everyone from who I know tells me they were trying to get the government to intercede for months to get CCA to do the work it was supposed to do. Then the deadline came, what was it, June or something like this? It came and it lapsed again. Then Sarkis Merlion, and we can argue the finer points of this, filed for bankruptcy. They had plans to lay off people, but they also had plans to pay Bahamian creditors. Because it's the Bahamians who always get screwed when the foreigners fight.
But remember, that was the national thing. How dare he go somewhere else?
The government of the Bahamas said that they were moving to protect our sovereign interests.
Remember that, yes.
This is what our Prime Minister promised us. This is what the Cabinet of the Bahamas promised us, that it was about Bahamians' sovereign interests.
Oh, yeah.
And 1 year later, those Bahamians who left their jobs to go to Baha Mar, many of them have no jobs. One lady in Jamie's story said that she did not pay her mortgage for a year. Wow. Another lady said she went to bed every night trying to figure out how she was going to feed her 2 kids, while the government played games talking about sovereign interests, talking about opening in the soonest time possible. And I'm telling them, I'm sending this message to them, I pray to God, whoever's monitoring is recording it, to let them know that they failed us. This was supposed to be about empowering Bahamians. This was supposed to be about the Bahamian economy. Not what the Chinese could get. Not how many hotels you could broker deals with them to build. This is supposed to be about us. And a hotel sits there. We have a prime minister who has failed us, who refuses to move on despite his glaring failure. And now, a year later, after Bahamians have been sent home, after Bahamians have been struggling and left out in the cold while they pussyfoot. I know you don't like me using that word, but that's what it is. While you pussyfoot and prevaricate and play games with the Chinese. While you're in the Tribune today talking about what concessions you further have to give CCA to finish a hotel, unless I'm mistaken, they had a contract that you approved that they were supposed to finish long time. Now you got to give them more to come finish the hotel they were supposed to finish in the first place while Bahamians wait. You're trying to figure out what you're going to give CCA while Bahamians have tens of millions of dollars sitting around waiting to get paid that Baha Mar never gave them. You're sitting talking about traveling back and forth to China, figuring out what the Chinese want to do. with property in the Bahamas, while Bahamians have closed businesses, have suffered, have had their lights turned off, risked their all and now have nothing, and your big concern is what's best for the Chinese. All of y'all need to go. I'm not playing games with it. You can go on Facebook and say whatever you want about me. You can talk about me and my children and my mom and my dad. I don't give a damn. You guys have failed us, and the proof is in the pudding. The proof is in you have a massive billion-dollar resort sitting there while people who are supposed to be working there went home, and you mortgaged their futures for jobs. You sacrificed their ownership in the economy for a few jobs, and then when you were unable to protect them, you took the $20 million that you fought tooth and nail for years with Baha Mar over to pay those employees. Then in October, you laid them all off. You said they could get unemployment benefits, and that lasted about 13 weeks. And then they're broke again. And you lied to us all because you built into your budget forecast over and over and over that Baha Mar was going to beef up the economy, that Baha Mar was going to provide thousands of jobs. There's video of Christie speaking to his constituency association saying that when Baha Mar opens, they're going to be solid, and when this election money hits the ground, they're going to be good. And now there's nothing. And the Bahamians are owed almost $100 million. There are thousands of employees who are owed severance who have got nothing. And now what you guys are doing is saying it's in the hands of receivers. And they're going to figure it out. The receivers and the joint provincial liquidators.
Don't forget the bombing on the desk. You left that part.
Oh, I'm getting to that.
Remember the bombing on the desk.
The 2-page
Those idiots
document.
were bombing on the desk.
All of you banging on the desk, go read. All of you who bang on the desk, go wake up and face reality. Go read Jamie Pinder's story. And see what these people are talking about. You bamming on the desk?
Thank you.
People have lives out here. Real lives. And we don't have time for your crap anymore. It is a civic responsibility as a Bahamian citizen to point out that you guys have led us down a path of disaster and destruction, and you're going to destroy us. You hedged all our bets on this resort instead of diversifying the economy, instead of making sense out of where we were, and now we're facing another downgrade. They're going to downgrade us to junk here in a minute. And all I hear is what the Chinese want. We have people who do not even think that we're fit to run and own hotels in our own economy. Anything that Bahamians try to do, our own government blocks us.
Yes.
And then we sit there like idiots waiting in the lobby of the China XM Bank, right? Until they call us in to tell us we ain't figured y'all problem out in the Bahamas yet. We're dying here. We're waiting for the Chinese to figure out what to do with Baha Mar on their balance sheet. I'm so sick of these people. People that tell me don't have a stroke, don't let your pressure get up. I'll be all right.
I'll hit him in the chest.
I'm sick of these people, right? I mean, go. David Cameron was telling, what is his name? James Corbyn, or whatever his name is. He said
Jeremy Corbyn.
Jeremy Corbyn. He said, for heaven's sake, go.
Yeah.
He said, I'm going, you go. Nobody wants you here.
Come with me.
Y'all go. Leave us for the love of Christ in peace and quiet. Let us figure out this thing ourselves. You screwed us. You screwed us.
Yep.
And we're sick of it. We don't have any faith in you. We don't believe anything you say. This is for all politicians, not just, the current cabinet.
No, I got you.
This is for everybody. We're no longer holding you to the standard where we just go,
But
that's very interesting.
remember, Corbyn's people even resigned.
They want him to
Those
go.
who were shadow ministers, they say, you know what? I'm out here. If this is what you're going to do, I'm out.
And the lust for power, the lust for relevance, that's all these guys are into,
Yes.
They know they can't do any more good for us because we're too afraid of what politicians are going to think about us. We're too afraid of being isolated from this gravy train, that little contract we're getting, to speak some truth to these people and tell them to get the hell on. Get gone, man. There's only so much we can do. There's only so much we can take. So go take your children right to Baha Mar. I'm not finished with it. I'm going to take your calls and your questions and your text messages. Go take your children to Baha Mar tonight. Go drive by while all the light on.
Let them see history.
And let them see how a development gets to keep its lights on while those BEC $20 million. And we just had a story in the paper yesterday about people in the hood in Bayantown and Centerville whose lights have been off for a year for less than $1,000. Go drive your children by and show them what they can't have. Show them what they'll never be able to own in their own country. Show them what it looks like when our leaders sell us out. The government of the Bahamas inserted itself into this Baha Mar issue, right? And I was all gung-ho, like, yeah, maybe that makes sense. Our sovereign interest, da-da-da-da-da-da. Not realizing these people don't care about that. They just want to control the paper. They want to control the money. They want to control the asset. They don't care about what's sovereign for Bahamians.
Yes.
I stopped believing that long time.
But what I admire about you is usually you give them a chance. I think I know every time this government moves, there's some back dealing going on. Every time they move, everything they do, there's a back dealing of something. That's through anything. That's why I always, again, I go back to the carnival, go back to anything they do. It's always some backdoor thing to get to something else. And this Baha Mar deal just happened to be the biggest one. So it shows up in everyone's face.
This is why I talk about Baha Mar, because you ain't got to guess about it or go dig deep into no newspaper.
You can feel it.
Or to go to no commissioner inquiry report. You can see it.
You can see it.
You can see what they do.
Yes.
Right? The Baha Mar had a board of directors. They approved the Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Our government says, we ain't about that. We're going to go and try to kill that and bring it back to the Bahamas, right?
Excuse me. Was the government's Ministry of Works, were there engineers on site to look at this work to make sure it's proceeding correctly? Because no one speaks to that. We speak like this was just some gap and our government is not supposed to go to this site and to make sure that every phase, you build a little two-story house, three-room house, two-bathroom house around here, the engineer comes from Ministry of Works and he checks on you, make sure your stages, he checks every stages, your roofing, your ground, your your straps right. I've already built, 2 or 3 houses. So I know what they do. So they didn't do it for Baha Mar? You going to tell me that the Prime Minister and his cabinet or Mr. Davis did not know how this was proceeding? Didn't the Ministry of Works know how this was proceeding?
Absolutely.
So why do we play like we stupid? Why do we play like we dumb? These guys are supposed to be doing their jobs. These guys are giving people permits to go and keep building without having a permit. Sure, I said it the wrong way.
And somebody's supposed to check CCA. I'm shocked somebody checked them down at the point when they was building their parking lot. Because if they would have built it into the collapse, everybody go, oh, they don't check for nothing.
Thank you. That's what I'm
saying. The Bamsey dorm burned now. Ain't nobody saying how much it costs. It just burned. It just up in smoke. They go set your money on fire. Let me take this paper here and set it on fire. Someone's telling me the government had a company inspecting work at Baha Mar.
So the government. So why didn't they know what was going on?
Reese Engineering says the company. They showed up actually in the dispute board's resolution.
Yeah. So we would have been on top of this.
CCA, and they said they paid millions of dollars.
And so, but didn't the Prime Minister and the others, the cabinet, know that this was happening and everything was being held back and this wasn't right? Didn't the government know that? So why did Mr. Christie come out, I didn't know this was going on.
Right, I didn't understand what was happening. So you have a board of directors, they say, let's go do Chapter 11, right? And the government steps in. I show you how they screw you. You understand? Because if they'll do it to Sarkis, they'll do it, they've been doing it to us, right? And and that's why I don't support them no more with this thing with Baha Mar, because you lied, because you said it would be open and you said we'd have jobs, and the proof is in the pudding. Now, if I'm the liar, right, then it should be open, right?
Thank you.
And people should have jobs.
Thank you.
So I guess I'm the one who's telling the truth, right? You say in the shortest time possible, that don't mean no year, right? Ain't can't nobody tell me nothing about no short time mean a year.
Well, in the house, a couple houses ago, they were banging on the
desk. They were banging on the desk.
Yeah,
it's great. Y'all need to hear this. I want them recorded. Y'all have cabinet. Go order some fruit and whatever y'all sauce and go sit down and listen to what I'm saying to you. Now, I'm getting a couple people said that Reese Engineering pointed out to the government many times that the work was not up to standard. The government did nothing.
So so whose side is the government on?
The government's
blaming
the government trying to bring CCA back.
But the government's blaming Sarkis to say Sarkis did it. They held them back. Sarkis was the bad guy. Why now that we're seeing this? Why someone now sending us in Reese?
Listen,
Come on, man, anyway.
if someone building your house, right, and this just simplistic, I ain't got no $1 billion, I ain't no billionaire, right? I'm 1,000-aire some days, right? Someone building your house, right? And they mess up, and I get all that, I'm like saying the N-word, but y'all running me hot today, right? I say Negro. Someone building your house, right? And they mess your house up. The plumbing no white, no white. You will sit there and tell your wife, oh, Jesus, let's figure out how to get this man back in to fix this. But your wife will slap you in your mouth.
Your wife is your opposition.
You understand?
She will fix that.
Let's get the same guys who mess it up to come back. Come from round here.
Thank you.
Be serious with the people, man.
And what is that? You pay the same guy.
You can pay them and you give them more concession to come fix the white they mess up. That's like the contractor. Oh, I know I messed it up. It can cost this much to fix the white guy mess up, though.
Yeah, who will pay for that?
You pull out your shotgun. When I pass there, there's a family live out west. We gotta pass there. When I pass there, my blood boils. You understand? When I look at that and look and see what they did, and how they jam us and juice us and now playing games with us, talking about what the Chinese could do while they building the point. I can't take it. I got a problem with it. I got a problem with everybody involved. I got a problem that is still happening. I can't take it no more. You understand? And so people tell me, oh boy, watch your children. This is people tell me this because this, and I mean to this none of y'all, right? Because I love y'all when y'all call me, oh, careful about your children. All this weak, skipping around, scared Negro stuff. I don't deal with that. You understand? I don't teach my children about to be scared. Don't come to me tell me about I got to think about my children. My children are going to be okay. You understand? I can teach my children. First of all, I got my boat. If you mess with me, I got my boat. I got a whole clan in the Lutro. I can go deal with, and you got to get through all them to get to me. The second thing is, I'm going to teach my children to be self-sufficient and defend for themselves, and I'll never teach them the bootlick and be around here begging no politician for nothing and for their livelihood. We got fish in the ocean. We got ground you can farm in. My daughter and son, they both going to learn to cook and sew their clothes and deal with animals, all that. You understand?
But man, look here.
And I could give them an education on top of that. But if the world collapsed, they'll be able to feed themselves.
Figadocious stuff to be messing with your children, talking stupidness about your children or your family. Deal with you if they have a problem. Come on, man, it can't be that low. These dudes can't be that petty. It should not. Your children, that bring tears to my eyes. They even say that stupidness.
I'm used to
your
it.
Children.
They talk about your children. They talk about your mother. They talk about your father. They talk about your family. Whatever like that. Don't worry about that. What I'm telling you is what I believe. I believe we have been screwed over by successive governments, and we now here trying to figure out who can do the less screwing as we move on. And I know what you're gonna say. Oh, you're talking about Brian McCartney. Listen, you put in for Brian McCartney. Listen, y'all go vote for Brian. Go put for Brian as the Prime Minister. Brian know me well. I know Brian know me since I was born. If y'all put Brian in and Brian starts screwing up, best believe I'll get on there and start talking about him. And he knows it too. William those still had a plan to give severance to the employees, and they did have a plan to let the employees go. But as Merlin and them also had a plan to pay severance to the people, which the people never got, okay? They also had a plan to pay off creditors in the Bahamas, which we still ain't paid. And so my thing is, how could a following what as Merlin was proposing been any worse than this, which is nothing, which is what y'all give us? Nothing all the time. Nothing plus nothing equals nothing. Nothing minus nothing equals nothing. That's what y'all have for us. Nothing. Nothing on Baha Mar. And you gamble our future away. Billions of dollars at stake. You risk us being put in the junk status. For what? Nothing.
But we can't say this. I mean, it's good that, the caller felt that way, you feel this way, but the game was always what the game was. The results, see, all of the middle stuff, the A and the Z were always going to be there, the A and the Z to the end, but that middle stuff was just a play around thing. All that Mr. Israel trying his best to do what he has to do. The outcome was going to be the same. They wanted this outcome, and they got the outcome they wanted. Now, is it to our benefit? No, it isn't. And
I don't see anyone benefit.
That's my point. So Mr. Ismail came back again and said, you know what, I have something new for you. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. No one wants to hear him. And because it's over.
And they banging on the table in the house. Y'all should, I'd leave cabinet. I wouldn't be able to sleep.
Going, all of our money going.
Right.
Mr. Brilliant money going.
And you want political power that bad?
No one feels sorry for this man. No one feels sorry for us. But who get their way? The banging on the table is and the Chinese. The table bangers and the Chinese get their way. But we, Mr. Israel and us, we can't do.
And is Meridian gonna be okay? His daddy's a billionaire.
Of course. Of course.
We jam. You understand?
Of course.
If Meridian got house all over the world, we jam.
Of course.
He, and I like him. I interviewed him a couple of times. He was taking care of himself, but he's trying to help us out too. But he'll be all right.
I'm sure he'll be all right.
He'll lose this $1 billion he can eat. He's still gonna be okay.
Wow.
We jam.
Wow.
You see?